Hey everybody, it's Mark back with another blog updating you all on my progress on my road to 900 rating. So far, it's been a bit of a bumpy road. In fact, I just checked the ratings update at the PDGA website, and my rating has gone down a little bit. I'm now below 820. I'm like 818 or 817, something like that. But on the plus side, I have been playing well after those tournaments that influenced my rating. So I forget if I had talked about the tournaments before, but the first one I played very poorly at. The second one I played a little bit better at, but the poorness of the first tournament was not outweighed by the improvement on the second tournament. I played roughly my current rating, around 820, but that's not close to 900. On the other hand, since then I have been practicing really well, and I have picked up a couple of things that have really improved my game. So first of all, if you looked on my Instagram, you saw that I got a couple of new discs. I got a zone to replace the Cayman, because the Cayman, as I believe I mentioned before, was breaking in really quickly. It was flying relatively straight when I really want to be super overstable, especially for those forehand anhyzer shots out of the wood. That's like 98% of what I was using it for. Not really backhand shots. There's one hole on the Hollows North where I throw that disc, but otherwise it's a scramble disc. So I want it to just be super overstable, have basically no glide, so I can toss it out on a very sharp angle. It flattens out and lands where I want it to. So the Cayman wasn't doing well. I didn't want to get another Cayman and just have to keep buying them. So, and I'm also trying to move away from Innova's discs just to try out different brands. I only started with Innova because that seemed like the most popular brand, and it is the most popular brand, but I want to try out different things. Anyways, to replace the Cayman, I did some research and I got the Zone, which seems to be very popular, and people are saying it does exactly what I want it to, and so far I'm liking it quite a bit. But maybe more significantly, the other disc I got in that purchase was the Axiom Crave, and I am absolutely loving this disc. Absolutely loving it. I wanted a straighter disc. So right now, in terms of fairway drivers to drivers, I have the Shrike, which I love. Got my backup sitting right there, the purple one. I love the Shrike. It's my long distance disc. I can throw it fairly accurately, and I kind of know if I put on a little bit of hyzer, it'll flip up. If I throw it flat, it'll do a little S-turn. But it wasn't my most accurate disc. I prefer the feel of a fairway driver, so I used to, for straighter shots, throw the T-Bird. And the T-Bird's doing well for me. I still enjoy the T-Bird, but I wanted something. It's not as glidey as I would have liked it, and it's not as it's more stable than I would like. So the T-Bird's great if I want it to go straight for about 200, 220 feet, and then skip off to the left. It skips nicely, and it's consistently stable. But I wanted something that could just go straight and far, that was a fairway driver, not a mid-range. So I did some research, and the Crave was looking good. There were some others I was looking at. I think the TL has similar stats, similar numbers, and there was another one, but the Crave was the only one that was in stock. So I got it, and it is doing exactly what I want it to. If I throw it flat, it'll turn over and glide to the right and then slowly make its way back. If I put it on a little bit of hyzer, it'll go dead straight forever. If I put it on an anhyzer, it'll hold that and curve really nicely to the right. It kind of just holds whatever line with maybe a little bit of understability that I want it to, and it glides forever. I'm throwing it almost as far as the Shrike. I mean, honestly, it could probably almost replace the Shrike, but I do like the Shrike. So I'm really loving the Crave. It's given me a lot of confidence because it's a little bit easier to feel like I'm in control of it, because it's close to a mid-range. It's a 6-speed. Although it goes, I mean, for my strength, that's about, I'm probably, 6-speed is probably perfect for me. Anyways, I've been practicing with those. I've been practicing for the upcoming New England Amateur Disc Golf Championships, which are being played at the Hollows, which I played a number of times, both courses, and at Birch Park, which is the course I played very poorly at in the first tournament. However, I've been practicing, and I was able to throw my highest rated, like, it's not an official rated round, but would have been my highest rated round at any course ever. I think it would have been at the tournament at like an 887. It was a 5 over at Birch Park. To eclipse 900, you need to shoot 3 over, I believe, if it holds the same as the last tournament. So I felt really good about that. I could have easily made up those 2 shots. It wasn't like I was throwing lights out. I was throwing consistently. If I didn't get the gap perfectly, or the distance perfectly, or the accuracy for the birdie, I scrambled pretty much consistently throughout and made the par. And that's really what I'm focusing on, is if I don't get the perfect tee shot, I always want to get the par, because shooting par will get you a 900 rating, and that's what I'm really focusing on. Putting's been a little bit up and down, but I'm feeling a lot more confident on getting those scramble pars and hitting the gaps. And that leads me to my next thing. And that is, I'm feeling a lot more confident with my accuracy on my backhand. So I always default if I need to hit a tight gap to the forehand, and I just don't have the power with the forehand. So my forehand is maxing out at like 250. I'm working on, and I'll probably talk about in a later vlog, a couple of things to try to improve my forehand. But right now I got a wobbly 250 with my Photon. I can put it on an Anheuser. It's not going to flip over. It's going to be really stable. That disc has gotten it seems like it's getting more stable the more I throw it, which is weird. But anyways, I can do a flex shot with that and get out of trouble and make gaps. But sometimes you need to throw a backhand through a gap. And what I realized 2 things. One is when I didn't need to go full power. So if I'm throwing a mid-range, or it's like 250 or under, and I'm not trying to stretch it out to 300, I don't have to do the full reach back. And I was realizing that Simon does this when he has, in his videos, when he's been, his elbow's been, he's been going through rehab on that and not trying to exert himself. So what he does, and let me grab a disc here. What he does is, instead of doing a full reach back, he keeps the disc in front of him and then kind of reaches back like 3/4, or not 3/4, not even like halfway. And he keeps the disc in front of him, and then he just follows through. So I tried that, and holy moly, I'm way more accurate that way. And it's obvious in retrospect, right? The more extra movement you have, the more variables are in play. So the full reach back is going to add a lot more variables. You're looking away from your target. I can keep my eye on the target longer with this, or sometimes even the whole way. And now I'm really confident on hitting those mid-range throw gaps, 200 feet and in, and maybe even further with the Crave now, because that thing just glides out. The second thing I realized for max power backhand throws is I realized that I was not utilizing shoulder rotation enough. So where I would want to, so I'm trying to keep in front of the mic here, I was pulling back my arm straight. My shoulders were staying somewhat pointed at the target, when really they should be pointed away from the target. And I just mentally, for some reason, remember Ricky Wysocki. He has this kind of exaggerated head cock shoulder movement at the end, and he actually pulls the disc higher than I want to. He does this kind of air bouncing move that ends up being flat. I don't know how he does it, but he has this kind of exaggerated final move of his right shoulder tucked down and in, and his head rotates and tilts like that a little bit. So I just thought of that and tried it out, and I started throwing not further necessarily, but throwing my max around 300-foot distance backhand with a lot less effort. So I felt smoother, I felt more accurate, more consistent. My run up and timing got a lot better. So in terms of backhand accuracy, I feel really, really good right now. And so I shot a couple of very good rounds. One at Birch Park, one at Hollows North, where I shot 3 or 4 over, where there I think 1 or 2 over is a 900 rating. So close to 900 rated rounds, which is obviously the first step of getting a 900 rating. Now I just got to do it at the tournament. So on Sunday, I have I'm like number 2 on the wait list for a tournament at Pyramids. I'm just going to go in the morning if I'm still on the wait list, and maybe I get in. If I don't, I'll just hop across the street, play Maple Hill, because it's right there. And then the big one next weekend is the new England Amateur Disc Golf Championships. I think that's the name of it, at Hollows North, Hollows South, and Birch Park. Hollows South, my game plan is don't take any big scores. Get as many pars as possible. There's maybe a couple birdies to get. Hollows North, I really want to try to score on the first 8 holes. Those 8 holes are very scoreable. Hole 1, if I make a putt, maybe, assuming this is the long baskets, which is where they've been at. So, like 9 through 18, there's maybe 1 or 2 holes where, like, I've birdied before. The first 8 holes, though, like, I can hit the gap on the first hole and get within 40 feet pretty consistently, so maybe I make a putt there. Hole 2 is just getting it through the trees. If I get it through the trees, easily birdieable. Hole 3 is the easiest hole in the course. I'm expecting a birdie there. It's like a 180-foot, relatively clear shot. Hole 5, maybe. That's one of the harder ones. Hole 6, maybe. Hole 7, maybe. And hole 8 is relatively gettable. So all of those are gettable, and a couple of them I am expecting the birdie, and none of them I feel like I should be taking a bogey on. So even if I just birdie hole 3 and par the rest, 1 under through the first 8 holes, I'm sitting pretty good position there. And if I get, 1 of the other birdies and par out, 2 under through the first 8, I will feel excellent. So that's my goal there. Hollow South is just about getting the pars for me and not hitting OB. Especially the beginning of that course is so hard not to go OB. I'm going to play very conservatively, play for the pars. Towards the back 9, the back 9 of that course is just substantially, with the exception of like 2 holes, is substantially easier than the front 9. And there's maybe a couple holes where I can reasonably be like, okay, I'm going for the birdie there. But if I can get out of there like 5 over, I'll be feeling pretty good. And then Birch Park, I'm feeling much more comfortable and confident at that I can shoot close to par if I'm really on. So high goals. I don't think I'll do it. I haven't been performing well at the tournaments, but I'm really going to concentrate and try to do well and boost my rating. So that's where I'm at. Next time I'll probably talk about the forehand. Maybe I'm trying to integrate some ideas I found recently online to get more forehand consistent distance, consistency, accuracy, reduce the wobble, right, the disc wobble that I've been getting a lot. But I've been doing a couple days of practice trying to implement those ideas. Haven't gotten consistent yet, so we'll see where I'm at there. That's where I'm at so far on the road to 900. A long ways to go on the road to 900, but I hope you enjoy following along, and next time I'll have some tournament results, hopefully. If not, I'll have some Maple Hill results. Either way, good things to talk about. Thanks for watching, and my next video will be up in a couple of days, another course review. I'm really excited about these course reviews and going into course design, and there'll be a lot of videos on that. I think it'll be super interesting. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment. Let me know if you have any questions or have any advice. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.